All right. I think it's working. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I might be muted. I'm not 100%. No, I'm not muted. Okay. I'll give me a minute. Give me a second. All right. I'm checking, making sure it's working, just to make sure. Okay. Just making sure it is working. I'm making sure. Okay. It is in fact working. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the very first stream I have done in a very long time. I am not used to this. But today I will be going through weeks 1 and 2. Hopefully in the future I can have at least Alex and Peyton with me. But for this week, they wanted to go watch a movie. No, I don't blame them at all. But I just didn't want to have to end up doing like 3 weeks in one reaction. And I also don't want to have to stay up till 2 in the freaking morning. So we're going to go through each and every one of the games through week 1 and 2. And I'm just going to share my opinion about how all of them went. Because that's what people do nowadays, right? Let me just switch this over. And voila. It should be on my screen. We can see the first game of the NFL season was the Dallas Cowboys narrowly losing to the Philadelphia Eagles. As we all know, I picked the Dallas Cowboys to win this game. I just had a strong feeling that maybe there was a chance that Dallas could get the win. And they were actually pretty close to taking the win home if it weren't for CeeDee Lamb and those crucial drops near the end of the game. He did have a good game, like in the first half, but those drops, man, were really bad. As we can see, Dak Prescott, 21 of 34, 188. And honestly, if CD caught some of those passes, it might look a little better. And obviously, we know Javonte Williams had those 2 touchdowns. And if we look at the receiving, even with all those drops, CD still had 7 receptions for 110 yards. Pickens, not a notable week. And yeah, Brandon Aubrey went 2-2. And then if we go to the Eagles, Jalen Hurts didn't do a whole lot of passing. Looks like he went 19 of 23 for 152 yards. No touchdowns, no picks. He did 14 attempts of rushing and 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley, he really didn't look too good in the second half. Like that's what I was a little concerned about that. The Cowboys defense actually did look pretty solid against him. We could go over to the Cowboys defense again real quick. I don't believe they did, yeah. Mike Needham. I don't know if that's his first name. I'm sorry. They actually got 1 sack, and it looks like they got 5 tackles for loss, which, yeah. Defense was pretty solid. But the Eagles obviously losing Jalen Carter on the first play, which was ridiculous. Like, a player should be better than that. But, I mean, Jahan Dotson leading the receiving, A.J. Brown in his fun little book. Man, he really loved that book. He couldn't play till the last minute. I think he kind of forgot there was a game going on. But as you can see, the Eagles defense, I'd say they did all right. They kept. It wasn't the best defensive performance in the world. They did force a fumble against Miles Sanders. Yes, that was a pretty crucial play. And then after that weather delay, it really just looked like all momentum died. Because it was a shootout in the beginning, but then after the weather delay that happened, there's just no points, really. And then that's obviously field goal and made all their extra points. I don't know. Yeah, and that's how I feel about that game. We also do, after we go through all the games, I'm going to do a fantasy update. Just let me find. I got to do this live, so I got to move around the schedule. Go through every week 1 game. Then the second game we had, I just leave it up here, honestly. We had the Chiefs and the Chargers. And with the Chargers actually getting the win. And I did pick the Chargers to get the win here. And yeah, the summary of this game, let's just start with the Chargers. Justin Herbert looked amazing. 25 of 34, 318 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He even had 7 rushes for 32 yards, including that last minute 19-yard. I believe that is his longest rush. I believe that's how long it was, to seal that game away and not give Patrick Mahomes a chance to win that game. Because if I have a sneaky suspicion, if he doesn't get that first down, there's a very good chance Mahomes drives down the field and we have a very different outcome of this game. Marion Hampton obviously wasn't too efficient in this game. But I do, and with Quentin Johnson leading the charge, looks like he can actually catch the ball. 5 receptions for 79 yards, 2 touchdowns, and only 2. I don't remember the 2 if they were drops or if it was just a bad target. Loud McConkey, 6 for 74, and Keenan Allen getting 7 for 68 and getting that other touchdown. And then Tyler Conklin actually getting 2 receptions for 50 yards. I honestly didn't know he was still around. And then the Chargers defense, man, besides like the end of that game where Patrick Mahomes was kind of, I don't like to really hype up Patrick Mahomes, but he was firing at the end of that game. And then we go over to the Chiefs. We obviously have Travis Hunter ramming into Xavier Worthy, injuring him. I hope he makes a speedy recovery. Obviously, we don't want injuries happening. But we have Patrick Mahomes going 24 of 39, 61% completion rate. Wasn't really the best game for Mahomes. 258 yards and a touchdown. Again, besides nearing the end of that game, he was not very good. And obviously, Patrick Mahomes, 6 for 57 on the ground. He's really good at I don't know how many fake slides he did, and that double standard. I'm not here to get into that, but there it is. 6 for 57. Isaiah Pacheco, not great. The fact that he and Kareem Hunt got the same amount of snaps was a little worrying. And then obviously Hollywood Brown with Xavier Worthy not being there, and also Rashid Rice being suspended for the first 6 weeks. Hollywood Brown actually led them, and he didn't actually do too bad. 10 receptions for 99 yards, not too bad. And then Juju with 5 for 55. And then Travis Kelce not really doing a whole lot besides that 1 catch and touchdown. And then we go to the Chiefs defense. Well, when the opposing quarterback gets that much success against you, you can't really be too excited. But they did knock Herbert down 3 times, 2 from Tranquil, and looks like 1 from Karlaftis. So you got some pressure on him, but you still allowed that many yards, which is a little concerning. Unless Justin Herbert is just that guy, which we've been waiting for a long time, so maybe it's his year. And then we obviously have the fumble and a forced fumble. And then Butker missing that extra point, but that fire drill, I don't like complimenting the Chiefs, but that fire drill was just beautiful. That was beautiful. Oh yeah, and then the Chargers kicker, he went 2 for 2 and made all his extra points, which they needed all those points. All right, and then for our next game, we'll just back out real quick. We'll go to Tampa Bay. We have the Buccaneers escaping Atlanta. Baker Mayfield doing what Baker does best. As much as I hate it, he's really good at leading last-minute drives. This guy, if you're down late in the game, you want Baker Mayfield. He is just one of the best at leading the team to a last minute drive. I don't know how many times he has done this before. Yeah, because Baker Mayfield, obviously, uh, his numbers, like his passing completion, could be better. 17 for 32, 167, but 3 touchdowns. And that last pass was just beautiful to Buka. He obviously had 5 for 39 yards on the ground. Bucky Irving, 14 for 37. It's kind of lackluster. And then Ibuka, obviously 4 for 67 with 2 touchdowns, and that obviously that long touchdown pass to him in the end of the game. He also had a second one earlier in the game, I believe, as it says right there. Mike Evans 5 for 51, and Bucky Irving obviously caught the other touchdown. And then for the Buccaneers defense, it looks like they got to Penix one time. Looks like it was by Hassan Reddick. And I mean, they kept him. They kept him in the game. I didn't really pay too much attention to this game. I gotta be honest. All I know is that Baker Mayfield clutched up at the end, and then let's just this. Oh, oops. This has been a constant problem for the Falcons, especially like last year, the back half. I I love Koo. Like he is one of my favorite kickers, but I am starting to think that if they did obviously replace him for this week, week 2. I don't know if he'll come back, but I am a little concerned that we might be reaching the end-ish of Koo's career. He has at least gone past his prime. I mean, we never know. He could have some sort of resurrection in his career or something. I don't want to shut his career down already, but it looks like his tenure in Atlanta may be coming to an end sometime soon. With that out of the way, Penix went 27 of 42 and one touchdown, almost 300 yards. Bijan Robinson on the ground, not so great. Neither was Tyler Algier. The ground game, not good. But Bijan through the air, 6 of 100, 1 TD. He started that game with the 50-yard touchdown. I didn't play Bijan week 1. Yeah, that was brutal. I drafted him. I was like, ooh, I don't know about this Tampa defense because I thought it was going to be pretty good. I was worried he would not get too much. And he didn't get too much on the ground. He didn't. But the receiving, ugh. Kyle Pitts actually did pretty solid with 7 for 59. Not like amazing, but it was okay. And then obviously we have the defense, which it's not the worst in the world. They got to Baker Mayfield once, so you might want to see more sacks. But I think they actually had, from what I've heard, they had pretty good pressure on Baker a lot of that game. Yeah. And then we have the Raiders versus the Patriots. I also didn't pay attention to this game too much, besides Mike Bowers, because he's on my fantasy team. Obviously, we had the Raiders winning this game narrowly, and as if you know, I did not pick the Raiders to win. I picked the Patriots because I thought the Raiders would be bad. Or I didn't think they'd be bad, but I didn't think they'd be wonderful. I was just worried about it. So Geno Smith went 24 of 34. I'm never gonna get used to that. Okay. 362 yards. That's a lot of yards. 1 touchdown, the 1 pick. I did not see that pick. I don't know how bad it was, if it was his fault or not. I've seen a lot of picks that were not the player's fault at all. It's like they're freaking wide receiver, tight end, whatever, catches it, but they fumble it out of their hands. Like catch it and it like pops out and our defender catches it. Because I was watching Ohio versus Ohio State, and yeah, that happened to Ohio State. Ashton Genty, obviously not too efficient running the ball, but he did get that one touchdown for anyone who had him in fantasy, so he kind of saved it. We'll see by someone else in this my roster. Brock Bowers went down with an injury. I'm pretty sure he is actually playing tonight. If I believe I can go and make a quick score check just to make sure. Brock Bowers, 5 receptions for 103 yards. He went out late in that game with a knee injury. They didn't think it was too bad, and it was kind of like, ooh, maybe it is bad. And then they're like, ooh, it's good. So, yeah. The score is currently 10-3 with the Chargers on top, and the Chargers just scored. All right, back to this. Jacoby Myers went 8 for 97. Again, I wish I started Jacoby Myers. You'll see. And then Tristan Tucker with the touchdown, 2 for 54. For the lone touchdown for them. And then defense, obviously, I really like the Raiders defense from what I saw, getting the 4 sacks. That's pretty good. Max Crosby actually had one of them. I expect him to be a very impactful player, as does everyone. But they did miss a field goal. Daniel Carlson. It might have been blocked. I actually don't know. And then we come to the Patriots. Drake May, doing pretty good. He had 30 for 46, 287, a touchdown, and an interception. I don't remember that interception. Running game, they didn't run a whole lot, but Trey Anderson, I think that's who it is, 5 for 27. So, I mean, that's not really enough to really judge that. Rajay Stevenson, not great. I'm going to pronounce this terrible. Bote, 6 for 103. Henry with 466. And then Demario Douglas with a touchdown, and he has -2 yards. Oh, well, he got the touchdown at least. Defense, again, I think it was pretty solid, especially. Ooh, looks like Landry the third, 5 tackles, 4 solo, 2.5 sacks, and 3 tackles for a loss. Looks like he had himself a pretty solid game, and obviously Jay Hawkins with the interception. And then Drake May had a fumble, I guess. And then kicking wise, Borregales, 2 of 3. Ooh. So both kickers missing a field goal. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, that was back to back. So correct me if I'm wrong, though. But all right. And then the next game, I have to hit week 1 again. Next game, we have the Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. With the Bengals barely escaping. This game, I watched this, or I listened to it. I didn't watch it, but this is the most frustrating game of the week because I picked the Browns and they could have had it. They could have had it. Let's go to object A. The only problem, okay, maybe not the only problem. Andre Smith. Andre Smith, 1 of 2, and 1 of 2 for extra points. They lost by 1 point. He could have, if he made the PT, it would be a tie. He also had a chance to take the lead. Nope, missed both of those. And that is a big reason why they lost. Another reason is the 2 interceptions were kind of a little brutal. One of them was not his fault because I believe it went out of the hands of Jerry Jeudy. I don't know how much it's Jerry Jeudy's fault necessarily, but I don't think it was Joe Flacco's fault. He always had 1 touchdown, 290. And then running game was just not there at all. Jerry Jeudy led receptions with 5 for 66. Dylan Sampson, hey, he didn't do a lot on the ground, but he did get 8 for 64. And then Fanon Jr. didn't actually look too bad. I think he's going to be a pretty good tight end in the league, even if he doesn't stay on the Browns. And then Cedric Tillman, he feels like he is always a pretty big target the last few times that Joe Flacco's been playing. Then Njoku shockingly didn't play a whole lot, which I thought he would actually be a bigger part of their game plan. And then obviously the Cleveland defense, Myles Garrett, man, did he sack and pressure Joe Burrow. There was a time the Cleveland defense was just dominating the Bengals. Especially there was one drive I remember they were backed up in like the 20, their own 25 or something, and they just got 3 straight sacks. It was first down sack, second down sack, third down sack, punt, and I think they threw an interception. It was it was kind of the offense's fault too. Yeah, relying on the kickers is partially their fault, and even the Bengals offense. Oh, are you kidding me? The Bengals offense, ugh, was not great this week. Like Joe Burrow, 14 to 23, 113 yards, a touchdown. Chase Brown was all right for some of it. Like the beginning, I believe he was doing all right, and he had a touchdown, obviously, but averaging 2 yards a carry, not the way you want to go. And T. Higgins having the most yards at 33. Noah Fant obviously getting the touchdown. Is a pretty lousy offensive day. The defense actually looked pretty solid. Like I was actually shockingly surprised about how good it looked, and obviously McPherson making the kicks, unlike someone else. Moving on. And obviously next we have the Arizona Cardinals just barely beating the Saints in a brutal loss for the Saints at the very end of that game. They really could have had that. But I believe it was Juwan Johnson, actually the tight end leading with fantasy points. I believe he had the most fantasy points this week, or week 1 for the tight ends position. Yet, he dropped the ball for what could have been a game-tying touchdown. Game-tying. He could have, the Saints could have won the game. I picked them to win because I was like, okay, I don't think the Cardinals are a strong team. And also, I think the Saints are a little better than what people think. I don't think they're good, but I think they're a little better than what people think they are. And I think I've been proven that. Spencer Rattler, I didn't expect him to be too good, but he did actually pretty solid, especially in the end. Like the beginning, I believe it was a bit of a rough start, but I believe as the game went on, he did a little better. And then Alvin Kamara did okay. He obviously had the touchdown. Josh Johnson, I think that's his name, 8 for 76. Tris Olave, 7 for 54. And then, yeah, Jawan Johnson. I don't know why I call him Josh Johnson. I'm thinking of the quarterback. That's a different player. And then the Saints had defense looking pretty good. 5 sacks on Kyler Murray. Obviously they had a pretty good rush on him. Blake missing one of the field goals. I think it was a bit of a longer one, or it was a shorter one he missed. I don't quite remember. But yeah, he actually it wouldn't have made a difference, but still, the dropped touchdown still hurts me. Kyler Murray, not too bad. 21 of 29, 163 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tyler Benson actually doing pretty good, 8 for 69 yards. And James Conner, a bit shaky in the run game. I was kind of a little worried. And he obviously did have the receiving touchdown, and so did Marvin Harrison. He actually had a pretty good game. Trey McBride actually looked kind of good. And then the Cardinals defense. I don't know how I feel about the Cardinals defense. This game, I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I really just saw like the last kind of play. Like I kind of watched it, saw the plays and stuff, but I didn't see too much. I guessing I'm not gonna guess, but I think they had a pretty solid day. They got them. They got the Cardinals to win, so that's all you can say. And then obviously we move on to Pittsburgh versus the Jets, where the Pittsburgh actually barely pulled it off. What the hell was this game? What was this game? Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers, 22 of 30, 244 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then we go over to the Jets. Justin Fields, 16 for 22, 218 yards, 1 touchdown. But you look at this, 2 more on the ground, 12 for 48. Brees Hall, 19 carries for 107 yards. Obviously, Garrett Wilson getting the receiving touchdown. And the Jets defense, I mean, you can't say too much when Aaron Rodgers is scoring 4 touchdowns on you. Obviously, Xavier Gibson lets that crucial fumble, and Aaron Glenn quickly cut him, which I feel like might have been a little harsh, but you do you. And then on the ground, Jalen Warren, a bit of a rough run game. But DK Metcalf 4 for 83, and Calvin Austin 4 for 70. He had the touchdown. Jalen Warren also had a touchdown. Skornak had a touchdown, and Jonnu Smith had a touchdown because of course he did. He's with Arthur Smith, and that's just Arthur Smith's favorite player. And then we had the Steelers defense. Oh, they did not play well against the run game. That run defense was bad. And then you have the 2 fumbles by Caleb Johnson and Kenneth Gainwell. And then Chris Boswell, 2 of 2, 4 for 4. You know the drill. Jets kicker was perfect too. Let's move on. Okay, hold on. We're gonna look on the next game, which is I'm gonna take a quick water break. Water break. Water break. Water break. Oh, it's because I'm not live. Out of there. Layer in my throat. Oh, I'm a little sick today. That's why my bit brutal. I'm trying to just brute force through this. All right. Here we have my favorite game. I fucking called it. Not to this extent. I didn't think it would be this bad. But I had a sneaking suspicion the Dolphins would not be good. And I mean, so did everyone else. But I knew that Shane Steichen could get something out of Daniel Jones. I had a feeling it'd be something similar to what he did with Gardner Minshew. Now, obviously, he might have exceeded expectations, but my personal opinion on Shane Steichen right now, I might be wrong. I don't think he's a good QB developer, but I think he's good at getting the most out of quarterbacks that already have the experience. Like, because back a couple years ago, Gardner Minshew, he's not the greatest quarterback, but Shane Steichen managed to rally that team together and nearly make the playoffs. If it weren't for that, like the last drop, there's a lot of other things that went wrong too. But against the Texans in that last game before the playoff, they were that close to making the playoffs. Obviously, this game, Danny Dimes or Indiana Jones. I wish I had a cowboy hat, but I do not. 22 of 29, 272, and a touchdown. That is insanity. And he also 7 for 26, 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, 18 for 71. Who is he a brutal runner? Michael Pittman getting the touch. Michael Pittman. Not Michael Pittman. 6 of 80, getting the touchdown. Tyler Warren, I actually think he might have. I know it's a little early to judge, but I think he might actually have a pretty good career for him. And for the Colts defense, obviously really good. And I believe Case Bynum had the interception. Yeah, he did. He had a pretty solid game. Nick Cross, Kellen Moore got a sack. Bucam got sacks, all 3 of them. And then Schrader, 4 of 4, 3 of 3. And then we look. Oh, one more thing. Punting. 0. No punts. 0 punts. Tua, 14 of 23. 114, 1 touchdown. That was trash time. And those 2 horrible picks. Now, is O-line help him any? Absolutely not. But yeah, it was brutal for Tua. And he also had that fumble, too. Devon Achane, 7 of 55. And obviously had that receiving touchdown. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Wall, no one notable, really. And then for the defense, I mean, they just got hammered. Bradley Chubb, I guess, got home once, but ooh, this was brutal. This was a brutal loss. And then there was only 1 punt. I didn't even know the Dolphins only punted once. I'm pretty sure they did more arm punts than actual punts. To be fair, who was just handing away the ball. All right. And then we have, go back to week 1. And then we have, ooh. Ah. Do I talk about this one? Panthers looked bad. I like the Panthers, and I picked the Panthers to win this one. Ooh, it was brutal. Bryce Young, not great. 1 TD, 2 interceptions. I didn't see the interceptions. I don't know how bad they are, but I'm pretty sure they weren't great. Chuba, ooh, he's all right. This is nothing amazing, but not as much as we expected. And I had him in fantasy. But thank goodness he got a receiving touchdown that saved his fantasy day, and it saved it next week too, as you'll see. Ted McMillan actually led it with 5 of 68. He might be the only one that did good. Unless you talk about fantasy, then Chuba also did good. And then the Panthers defense. Well, you can't say too much. I don't think it's terrible, but also they intercepted, J.C. Horn intercepted Trevor Lawrence once, but they allowed that really, really, really long rushing touchdown by, who was it? Yeah, Travis Etienne. And then obviously Bryce Young had that brutal fumble. Or I don't know how bad it was, but I'm pretty sure he got sacked and he fumbled it. So, yeah. And perfect on field goals. Cam Little, I had him on fantasy. 14 points. I'm pretty sure I actually had 15 points in fantasy. I'm not 100% sure, though. I'll look in a second. 15 or 19 of 31 for Trevor Lawrence, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Kind of, to me, that looks like decent numbers. I might be wrong. Travis Etienne, amazing. That 71-yard carry, obviously, is most of his, or half of his yards, but that run was beautiful. They did pretty good. Tank Bigsby, as they obviously traded. They used Tootin. I don't know how to feel about him, but he's there, and I mentioned him. Strange. Yeah, it is strange that he's on top. He had 59 yards. I don't know who else would lead it, though. I don't even know who they have any other receivers. They have Travis Hunter, obviously. He had 6 catches for 33 yards. And obviously, Long had the touchdown. And we go to the defense. This was a pretty good defense. Ludicon obviously getting the interception, as well as with Lewis. And then I believe they only had one sack on Bryce Young for the day. I believe he also forced a fumble, didn't he? No, it was actually a Ludicon. He actually had the forced fumble too. And then Lewis recovered it. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I don't want to talk about that anymore. And then we have New York playing Washington. I gotta be honest, I didn't pay any attention to this, so I don't know a whole lot about this. I'm probably completely wrong. So we have Russell Wilson with pretty not great numbers. People were very much cheering for Jackson Dart to come out on the field. Did okay on rushing, I guess. Kind of. Tracy, not great running, not significant. Neighbors, 5 for 71. No touchdowns on the day. The defense, Brian Burns, pretty solid. 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. And then no interceptions, but looks like they had a 3rd sack too. Wilson had a fumble. Doesn't look like he lost it though. And then Gano made all their points, going 2 for 2. And then the Commanders. We have Jaden Daniels leading the charge, 19 of 30, 233 yards, a touchdown. Trosky Merritt, 10 of 80 for 82 yards and a touchdown. Actually pretty good if you have him in fantasy. Man, if only someone had actually used him. I had him. Peyton. Jaden Daniels had a touchdown to Zach Ertz. Yeah, Ertz. Man, Ertz hasn't been looking too bad this year. Debo Samuel getting 7 for 77. And nothing else really notable, I don't think, for this game at least. And then they had 2 sacks on Russell from Payne and Armstrong. I think I read that right. Luke McCaffrey actually had a pretty good return. I think I actually saw that maybe. I heard about it. Matt Gay made all of his extra points. Too significant. Let's move on. And then we have, it's gone too far. Oh, this game. This game came down to the wire. Came down to the absolute wire. This game was really close. Came down to the last play, pretty much, because technically there was like kneels, I believe, or something at the end. But Sam Darnold, got sacked at the end. That O-line did not hold up. I believe it was. Let's go. I can check the play-by-play real quick. Yeah, because Tim Darnold got that big pass to Jackson Smith and Jigba. I had him in fantasy. Not Sam Darnold. Jackson Smith and Jigba in fantasy. Thank goodness he did really good. But he got sacked by Nick Bosa, and he fumbled and was recovered. And so, yeah. Seahawks lost the game. And I picked them to win. So that was brutal. Brock Purdy, 2-2. 75% of his passes complete, 277. McCaffrey, actually only averaged 3.1 yards a carry. I thought he averaged better than that, but he was pretty active in the air. 9 catches for 73 yards. Ricky Pearsall, 4 for 108. George Kittle getting that touchdown, but he is now on IRR, which doesn't look very. Tonjes of all people getting that second touchdown, which was a really good touchdown, according to the announcers, because I didn't actually see the game again. I just listened to it. And then for the 49ers defense, fine. Fred Warner leading the team in tackles. Nick Bosa actually had that game-stealing sack and forced that fumble. He actually had the only sack on Darnold, so not too solid, I guess, of a defensive performance. But, I mean, they did hold only 17 points. Jake Moody nearly losing them the game. missing 2 field goals. Obviously, we all know he was cut. Sam Darnold, 16 of 23, 150 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Run game nothing significant other than Kenneth Walker looked like he was in a committee with Zach Charbonnet, but we all know now he isn't. Jackson Smith-Njigba did absolutely amazing and helped me win my fantasy game. I mean, oh, no spoilers. No one else did shit receiving the ball. And yeah, I guess Zach Charbonnet also got the touchdown too. So yeah, brutal for the people who started Kenneth Walker. Would not want to be that guy. We got Jay Love getting a sack on getting the only sack on Brock Purdy. I believe. Yeah, no, there's 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions by Job and Jones the 4th. I don't know who those are, but hey. Oh, I didn't see this. Jackson Smith-Njigba fumbled twice and lost one of them. Fumbled more than Sam Darnold, but they also lost the same amount. Yeah, this is a pretty brutal game. Their kicker made all their points, unlike another team, Cleveland. And then we move on to who's next? Okay, this game I paid vague attention to. I know the Broncos defense was pretty good. The offense was pretty shaky. Bo Nix didn't have the best day, as you can see right there. Harvey, pretty good game on the run. He only had 6 carries though. He did have a 50-yard rush, which is pretty good. J.K. Dobbins, 16 for 63 and a score. And Cameron Sutton, I didn't see the catch, but I bet you was a pretty damn good touchdown catch because that's just Sutton. He's a pretty damn good receiver. Nothing else significant. And then the Broncos defense, Hufango with 10 tackles, 7 solo. Pretty damn good. Bonito. Nick Bonito, I think is his name. Got that pretty good sack, 2 tackles for a loss. Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of sacks. 6 sacks on the day. Pretty dang good. And then they didn't actually pick off Cam Warner at all today. But they did have Marvin Mims fumbled and lost it. Bo Nix fumbled and lost it. But Marvin Mims did have a pretty good day on returning, looks like. Just fumbled away. Probably fumbled on one of those returns. I'm not 100% sure. Well, Lutz, perfect on kicking. Joey Sly, perfect on kicking. Moving on to Cam Ward. Sub 28, 112. Yeah. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look great. Only completing 42% of your passes, though, isn't the greatest look. Tony Pollard, 18 or 60. You know, he tried his best, really, against a strong defense. He did have a 29-yard reception. Nothing really notable. Defensive-wise, obviously, they picked off Bo Picks twice, Xavier Woods and McCreary. Pollard and Ward both fumbled and lost it. But Simmons forced a fumble. And then, yeah. Oh, and I did pick the Broncos to win because I'm not a moron. All right. What's next game? Oh, this is a very interesting game. This is a interesting game, to say the least. Lions getting destroyed by the Packers at Lambeau for the first time in a while, I believe. Another water break. Quick water break. I'm thirsty. just leave the rest of that. Jordan Love, pretty good day. Obviously, Jalen Reed getting the receiving touchdown, and Tucker Kraft getting the touchdown. Romeo Dobbs 2 for 68. And Josh Jacobs actually pretty solid day on the ground game, despite what the stats say. I believe it's been deceptive. And then the Packers defense, obviously, extremely dominant. And then, yeah. Baron McManus, perfect kicks. Jake Bates was perfectly kicks too, but unfortunately that was not enough to win the game. Jared Goff actually pretty solid, 31 of 39, 225, touchdown and a pick. David Montgomery and just the running game in general, dog water. Samuel Porter led, it was 6 for 79, and just no one else did anything significant. Defense obviously got destroyed by the Packers. No one did anything that's really too standing out. There's Brian Branch nearly getting a pick six, I believe, but got called back because of penalty. Yeah, it's just a brutal game for the Lions to start out the season with. We have Houston versus the Rams. C.J. Stroud not looking too good against on their own line. Rams defense was actually pretty solid. Nick Chubb had a solid day. Ugabawale, I don't know. I like his name. There, Ugabawale, and I liked him kicking field goals a couple of years back. I don't remember when that was. I like that. And then Higgins, nothing really. There's nothing to call out on this. Pretty pedestrian numbers for no standout receivers. Defense wasn't bad. It held. Obviously kept it close. Only allowed 14 points, so they're pretty solid. I don't know if there was any. No, there's no picks, but they got home 3 times. And Jr., I believe, had one of those sacks. Matt Stafford went 21 of 29 and a touchdown, so that's pretty solid. Williams, I got a touchdown, which kind of solid. Solid day on the ground. Puka Nacua, 10 for 130. I did not start Devontae Adams, which I'm glad I didn't because he didn't get a whole lot of points. And defensive-wise, obviously did pretty good. Had that Durant. Nope, that's not his name. Kevin Durant. Kevin with the C, right? And then obviously they got home to Matt Stafford 3 times. They did have a brutal fumble, but ultimately they were able to get it away. Didn't even attempt any field goals. Fairbairn was 3 of 3 on the night, though, getting all the Texans points. And yeah, I did pick the Rams to win that game. And I also picked the Packers, by the way. Buffalo and Baltimore. This was probably the game of the week. And if it wasn't this, my pick would be the Dolphins and the Colts. Not because of interesting, but just because I liked watching Daniel Jones beat down on the Dolphins. I don't hate the Dolphins or anything. I just like Daniel Jones for some reason. Oddly, I have noticed that I am a big rooter for underdog teams. I really like rooting for them. Lamar Jackson didn't do a whole lot on the passing, at least. He did a bit of running. But what he did do when he did pass, it was pretty good. No picks, 209 yards, 73% of his passes, nearly 74% of his passes completed. Derrick Henry dominated on the ground, 18 for 169, those 2 touchdowns. It's just too bad that last fumble was really brutal at the end there. And then Lamar Jackson, obviously, as Lamar Jackson does, 6 for 70 and a touchdown. Zay Flowers, 7 for 143, a touchdown. Hopkins actually got a touchdown too. And defense, pretty good. Pretty decent. Tylen Wallace, oh, yeah, probably on kick return. Yeah, this is where the brutal thing happened. And near the end there, Josh Allen did brutally get to the Ravens defense, and it was kind of sad. It was really fun watching Aaron crash out because he had Lamar Jackson in fantasy. But we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about it. And so for the Bills, Josh Allen, amazing game. At least in the last half. Like, obviously, the only problem was the 2-point conversions. Those didn't seem to go very well for the Bills. But luckily for them, it didn't matter, and in the end, they still won the game, which is all that matters. Josh Allen, 2 touchdowns, almost nearly 400 yards. James Cook, all right day. He did have a touchdown. Josh Allen had 2 touchdowns on the ground, and obviously the 2 in the air. One to Keon Coleman, 112 yards, and the other to Dalton Kincaid. God damn Bears. That was the most Bears game I have ever seen. They so bared this. This was so bared. This was very bared. JJ McCarthy looked like absolute trash. As you can see by the puck score, 0-6-0-21. Who Chicago really should have won this game. I also picked the Bears to win, but they didn't. JJ McCarthy obviously had those 2 touchdowns in the end of the game. Won them the game. He did have an interception. I don't remember how bad that was, but I do know in the beginning of the game he was not looking good. Rushing was okay, or actually pretty solid by Jordan Mason. Justin Jefferson, pretty lousy day for Justin Jefferson. Had a touchdown, obviously, and Aaron. And defensively, they were pretty. I don't know how I feel about them. Like, especially, I mean, when they shut down Caleb Williams at the end of the game, they were pretty good. Obviously, Will Reichard got all of his extra points, and Cario Santos missed a field goal. But it's not like it's a 3-point game or anything. Caleb Williams looked good in the first part of it, except, whenever JJ McCarthy rose, I felt like Caleb Williams fell down. He obviously had 2 touchdowns, one in the air, one on the ground, and got one to Romo Dunze. Oh, Jesus. Fate doesn't want me to talk anymore about this game. No, game stats. No, game stats. Games box score. I'm an idiot. Nothing really. Eli Zacchaeus, 42 yards more, 68. Defensive wise, looked pretty solid. Besides, the last quarter, where they lost, and Santos missed a field goal. I don't remember when that field goal was, but still hurts. Fourth quarter, Santos. Rivera has 50 yards, so I'm not gonna. At least they didn't have 2 chances. Like, I don't know. Someone else. I don't know. I don't know who else would have it. I don't know who else would have, had 2 chances in the fourth quarter. Oh, look. A missed field goal. We could have had it. 36 yards. No good. 36. It was so close. It was so close. Joe Flacco having letters. Ending the game. And then they had the touchdown. He missed the extra point on. All right, moving on. We have fantasy time. So I'm going to take a quick moment to look at my phone so I can get our fantasy scores up. We'll be back in a short second. But instead of me going away, I'm just going to put this right in front. I could block your view. I'm hiding. You can't see me. You can't see me. I don't know why I did that. I can look at it right now, but I did. So All right. Reveal me. So, I mean, I'm not gonna. I'll just talk through it because some of these people I don't know, and I don't want to just shove them out into the light. So I'll only be mentioning 5 different people in this league. Me, Peyton, Aaron, Alex, and also other Alex. Other Alex has been in a few Phasmos. Alex and Aaron or Peyton have been in all the predictions this year, at least. And Aaron was in the most recent predictions, and me is me. There's a few random people that I don't even think I know. And so week 1, I had Dak Prescott, Chuba Hubbard, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jerry Jeudy, Brock Bowers, Jerome Ford, Steelers defense, Cam Little. And then on my bench, I had Bijan, Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, Jacoby Myers, Kyle Pitts, Drake May, and Packers defense and special teams. And Dak Prescott had 7.8, Chuo 18 pretty much, 17.9 I guess, 19.4 for Jackson Smith. Jerry Jeudy had 11.6, Brock Bowers 15.3, Jerome Ford 1.5. Steelers with 5 points, Cam Little with 15. They had Baker with 22.58, 13.1 for Chase Brown, 8.5 Amon Ra, 5.5 Nico Collins, TJ Hawkinson with 4.5, DJ Metcalf with 12.3, 9 for Texas defense, and 5 for Chase McLaughlin, putting me at 93.52 and 80.48. But my God, was I sweating through the end of that, and I barely made a comeback. Whew, I was sweating that one out. That one was close. Dak Prescott, not great. Chuba Hubbard, if he didn't get that in receiving touchdown, he getting that touchdown, I think was part of why I won. Is a 7 for the reception and the TD combined for 9 points. And then obviously the receiving yards he got from that, he could have lost me that game if he didn't get that touchdown. Obviously Jackson Smith and Jigba going off helped. Jerome Ford, that was brutal. Those defense didn't do too great. Yeah. So I don't spend 2 million years on this. We'll go to Alex, playing against Alex. So double Alex. Other Alex is the minor Alex, not that. The one that doesn't show up as much. He had Trevor with 10.3, Derek with 29.2, Jamar Chase with 4.6, Tyreek Hill with 8.0, David Njoku 6.7, Xavier Worthy, that was brutal, 0. Giant goose egg, but that wasn't his fault. Cardinals 14, Brandon Aubrey with 11. He also had James Cook 21 points, DJ Moore with 8, Rasheed Rice suspended, obviously he's not playing him. Rome 15.7, not playing Chris Godwin. Caleb Williams 24, and Ramondre Steven 4.7. And Alex Main out. My man AB. I'm gonna call him AB. AB Alex. Yep, AB Alex. Had Joe Burrow, who had 8.82. Kyron Williams, 13.9. 14.8 with Justin Jefferson. AJ Brown with 1.8, which was pretty brutal. He thought he might lose just because of that, but Xavier Worthy was out, so it kind of evened out. Samuel Laporta with 13.9. Jalen Warren with also 13.9. Eagles defense with 8. And Chris Waswell with 15, narrowly giving him the win with 19 points. Alex, this was almost I need a hero moment because Justin, he was not winning. Justin Jefferson was obviously not doing great until that last quarter. So if they didn't make that comeback, he could have won. Because, if he doesn't have those 14 points, then you don't win. And I know it took a while for him to get those points. So, but all right, moving to Aaron's game. He had man, did he have a good lineup? He was playing against the Patrick Mahomes lineup, who had Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Harrison Butker having 26, 12.7, and 11 respectively. And then obviously they didn't have all Chiefs players. They had Jonathan Taylor, 12.8, Cameron Sutton with 8.1, Mike Evans with 10.1, Travis Kelce with, or I already said that, and Stephon Diggs, 11.7, Vikings defense was 7. And then Aaron had Lamar Jackson, 29.36, Saquon Barkley with 18.4, Brian Thomas Jr. with 9 points, Marvin Harrison Jr. with 18.1, George Kittle, which ended up on IR, which was brutal, but he did get 12.5 before he went down for Aaron to kind of help him get away from this one. Matthew Golden with 3.6, 20 points for Broncos defense, which definitely really helped. Jake Bates with 7 points, leading him with a score of 117.96 to his opponent's 109.42. Really winning because of those Broncos defense points. And man, for the bench warmer team of the week, he had the warmest bench with both Justin Herbert and Justin Fields having 27.92 and 29.52. Gee, his bench is strong. And then finally we obviously have Peyton, who had Jaden Daniels 20.12. Gibbs with 15, Higgins with 6.3, Ibuka with 23.6, Andrews with 1.5. He also got the not the goose egg, but the Jerome Ford amount of points, which is not good. If you're ever saying you have the same amount of points as Jerome Ford, you better hope he did. It's not 2025 because it's not good for him this year so far. Ted McMillan with 11.8. Ted McMillan! Buccaneers defense with 6, and Tyler Loop with 13. He also had Cam Skidaboo on his bench, Cam Ward, Dalton, Seahawks, Koo, JCM, and Hollywood Brown. He was playing against Hurts with 24.28, Von Achan, 16.5, Lamb with 18, London with 13.5, Evan Ingram with 5.1, Terry McLaurin with 4.7, Lions defense 3 points. And also, I'm pretty sure this guy's been playing because he still has Jason Sanders, the Dolphins kicker that's on IR. He's really hoping for him to come back. All right. And with that, we will move on to week 2. Oh my God, there's still another week to go, and I've been here an hour. Ooh. All right. I'm going to give a quick game score update. What's that? Hold on. It's loading. All right, I guess I can go and pull up the first game of week 2. While it's pulling up, yeah, I can go ahead. We can talk about this game real quick. Jaden Daniels, besides the end of that game, doesn't look too good. The Packers defense is just dominant this game. Dominant. Except for that end where they allowed him to get those 2 touchdowns to Zach Ertz. Oh, no, Deebo got one of them. I thought Zach Ertz got both of them. My bad. Deebo got one of them, and Zach Ertz got one of them. Ground game, pretty brutal. Austin Eckler out for the year. Not great. I hope at this point, I'm really concerned if he's going to have a career after this, because it looks like he's going to be out for the season, and I don't know how many years he has left. Commanders defense just got shredded by Green Bay, and obviously only did 1 of 3 on field goals. Didn't make the extra point. And then Packers. Jordan Love, 2 touchdowns, 292. Josh Jacobs, pretty solid on the ground getting that touchdown. Obviously, Jaden Reed got hurt this game. Tucker Kraft looking really good. 124 yards, touchdown. And Dobbs getting the other TD. And then defensive-wise, pretty good, besides, obviously, that in the sequence where Jaden Daniels led his team to those couple touchdowns at the end to try and make a miracle comeback. They did end up with 4 sacks on the day, no picks. And, yeah, they did miss a field goal, but didn't really matter too much in the end. It was a doink. There's a lot of doinks. I've been seeing a lot of doinks recently. I'm going to reload this. I guess I can get to this. This is brutal. Oh, God. This was a brutal game. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, it's halftime right now. It's not looking so great for me. Oh, Geno Smith threw an interception at the Chargers 1. It ended the half, but oh yeah, it looks like it was just a Hail Mary shot to the end zone, hoping for the best. It did just lead to the end of the half. The score is currently 17-6. Chargers still have the lead, obviously. Quentin Johnson, jeez, Quentin Johnson got a 60-yard touchdown. I mean, I know Alex isn't coming back, but he's making it look more respectable. Yeah, we'll get to this game. Caleb Williams, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. It looked good at first, looked like they might be fine, and then it is just a beat down in the second half, I believe. Like you can see by the score. A lot of points. Yeah, it was not great. Well, I guess it looked good for the first quarter and maybe a little longer. Yeah, this is not a fun game for them. Swift getting a touchdown for them, and Caleb Williams getting 2 touchdowns, and obviously having that pick. Roma Dunze getting 128, the only viable fantasy option. Well, I guess Caleb might have been solid, but I don't know. Defense obviously got torn apart by Jared frickin' Goff. Jake Bates missed a field goal. Let's bring out that first. It might have been blocked, I don't remember. Five touchdowns, nearly a perfect quarterback rating, 334, 82% of those passes complete. You know, this is actually starting to look like the actual Alliance team we expected to see. It looks like they just had a slow start, or Green Bay is just that good. Gibbs having a much better game, 12 for 94 and a touchdown. David Montgomery, 11 for 57 and a touchdown. Amon-Ra, 115, 3 TDs. Javonte Williams having a... Is that Javonte Williams? No, Jamison Williams. This isn't the Cowboys. 108 for a touchdown, 2. Wright getting a touchdown, 2. Oh, yeah, Amon-Ra, 3 touchdowns. That's pretty good. And then defensively dominated. Who had the pick? Kirby Joseph had the pick. And then I guess they had 4 sacks on the day on Caleb Williams. And then, yeah, there's not too much to say. It was just a beatdown. And then this, what was this? This was the fourth quarter combined 41 points in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, 41 points. That was a shootout between Russell Wilson. He did pretty good. 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that pretty bad pick, which cost his team the win. It could have been a tie. It was really almost a tie, but he threw that costly interception. Yeah. So, yeah. You got a Scattaboo. Did pretty solid, actually. Looked pretty good. Dart actually got in the game, -3 yards. Was that a? I don't know what that was for, but he was there at some point. Didn't ever see that. Malik Neighbors, amazing day, 9 for 167, 2 TDs. Rondell Robinson, 8 receptions, 142 yards, and a touchdown. And that offense was just explosive. The defense, pretty good in like the first half or first quarter, especially, just completely shut out Dallas. I was like, oh, the Giants might actually like dominate the Cowboys. You never know, getting all the field goals and extra points and whatnot. So did Brandon Aubrey. So he got one more opportunity than Gano got. Dak Prescott, 361, 2 touchdowns and a pick. I don't remember that pick. I don't know. I can actually look real quick. No, that's so. Oh, yeah, I don't think it counts. But yeah, no, he did throw a pretty brutal interception. And then I guess Dak, yeah, he threw one right here to D. Phillips. Box score, or Javonte Williams, 18 for 97. Now it's Javonte Williams. He did get a touchdown, did pretty solid on the ground today. CeeDee Lamb, 9 for 112. Jake Ferguson, 9 for 78. George Pickens actually got another touchdown, 5 for 68. Turpin also got 47 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, the defense, not great. Not great. Yeah. No, I mean, nothing else notable, really. All right, and then the next game. Oh God, why would I? Not once, but twice have I picked a team that is so stupid. This was the most moronic pick, but it was two of them. I picked the Bears and the Browns. Why did I hedge any bets on either of these teams ever? It's like, oh, maybe the Browns can make a miracle happen. Nope. Flacco. Ooh. First half, it was like, okay, this they might have a chance. And the second half, the Ravens just ran away with it. Joe Flacco, nothing significant. David Gabriel actually got in, touchdown. Judkins didn't look bad on the ground. Got pretty solid numbers. Ford actually had solid numbers, but didn't have many carries. Judy, 4 for 51. Nothing really significant. Tillman and Sampson with 2 touchdowns. Defensively, kind of were good in the first half, but kind of lost steam. Joe Flacco had a fumble, I guess. Andre Smith, perfect this game. On field goals, 101 and 2 extra points. Tyler Loop, 2 field goals, 5 extra points. All good. Man, if only that happened in another game, Cleveland. 19 to 29. I don't know why I'm hedging my bets on the freaking Browns. That might be my fault. I don't know. Yeah, no, this game's looking pretty brutal. Oh no, he has Keenan Allen, not Quentin Johnson. I forgot. Yeah. All right. Lamar Jackson, 4 touchdowns, 225. Pretty dominant. Henry, not great. Really slow game. It'd be really unfortunate if you had him in fantasy. Zay Flowers, 75 yards. Hopkins had a touchdown. Walker had 2 touchdowns. Tyler Wallace even had a touchdown. Yeah. That's really offensively out of pick. Nate Wiggins, I believe. Tyler Wallace, not too bad on returns. And yeah, just a beat down. I'm just gonna check on the stream. This game. This is This is one of my surprising favorites. I like this game. It's pretty interesting. Mac Jones and Spencer Rattler. They actually kind of looked pretty good. They both have 3 touchdowns. Uh, Mac Jones obviously had 70 more yards, but Spencer Rattler had a little better completion rate and a few less passes. So they both did pretty good. McCaffrey did pretty well on the ground. I mean, not like amazing, but he did okay. And receiving, he got a touchdown, pretty good receiving. Juwan Jennings got the other touchdown, and Barrel got the other touchdown. Obviously, no George Kittle this game. I forgot his name for a second. Nick Bosa got a sack, and 2 other people. I don't mention them. Stouts and Huff. Sorry. Mac Jones fumbled twice and lost one. It's probably not good. Eddie Pinheiro, perfect except for a missed extra point. Might be a bad sign. But Saints kicker missed their only field goal attempt, like Grupe. Alvin Kamara fumbled and lost it. That's not what you want to see. Kamara, pretty solid game on the solid run game, especially in the first half. I remember he kind of carried the Saints offense. Spencer Rattler in like that first quarter and a half, however much I watched really, did not look great. He was like 2 of 8. So I want you to know, most of those incompletions came from the beginning of the game. There was a point where he locked the hell in. But yeah, I know. Pretty brutal. Rashid Shaheed had a touchdown. So did Juwan Johnson had a touchdown. Pretty good catch. Too bad he dropped the last one. That could have won the Saints the game. Chris Olave, 6 for 54, leading the team in yards, but I didn't have any touchdowns for today. And then Vele. I'll look at his name. Devon Vele. Former Bronco, looks like. Had a touchdown on the day. And the defense, defenses, especially like the first half, they felt pretty dominant. And then I think maybe later on the game, they became, well, actually, it looks like the score's pretty even. But I remember the first few drives, like missed field goal, punt, then a touchdown, but then it's punt, field goal, punt. So yeah, it starts to light up over here. Fumble, touchdown, field goal, fumble, touchdown, punt. Well, there's quite a few punts. Not the worst in the world, though. Kind of solid game. Miami almost sneaking up and getting a win, but do not avoid the 0-1 start. The Patriots get the win, go up to 1-1. Drake May, 19 of 23, 232 touchdowns. Actually, not bad. I'm getting a tissue. I'm actually going to throw away my water bottle, too, so it's just on the floor. Man, I really don't like that. I can't just cut that out, but oh well. Alrighty. Yep. Roger Stevenson saw the game on the ground. Tony Gibson, I don't know he existed, but there you go. I talked about him for the 2 people watching that are actually fans of him. And that would be equivalent to all the people watching this, but okay. Roger Stevenson leading the team in receiving, 88 yards. No one else even notable except Kevin Boutte. Is his first name Kevin? You know, I'll check. Kayshon Boutte, not Kevin. Kayshon Boutte had the touchdown. Matt Hollins also had a touchdown. And then, is that really? Oh, Drake May had a rushing touchdown. Yeah, that was another touchdown. And defense, pretty solid. I believe you looked at the box score. Yeah, they shut them out in the first half. But then they got 14 points, so it was actually a 1-point game. And they kind of kept it close, but in the end, Dolphins lost. And field goals, missed 2 extra points, which could have costed them the game. They're really lucky that didn't go wrong. Bradley Patterson made all his kicks. Tua, a little bit of bounce back, still threw a pick. I don't know how bad that was. 2 touchdowns, 315. Achan, not too great on the ground. Ollie Gordon actually had a rush. Tyreek Hill, 6 for 109, but did not get a touchdown. Achan, 8 for 92, touchdown. He didn't do so good on the ground, but it looks like he had a good receiving game this game. And Waddle had the other touchdown. And then, Miami had 2 touchdowns. The rest were field goals. They had defense, nothing too significant. Looks like they didn't have any interceptions. Had 3 sacks, though. By Brooks, Bradley Chubb again, and Robinson. Yeah. They have. Whew, this is brutal. I'm going to take a couple minute break. Okay, that's what it's like. I'm gonna go get a drink. I'm gonna go fill up my Wawa bottle. Actually, you don't get to see what's on the front though. I'm not gonna take my mic with me today. Listen, stalkers. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, I really need to prepare with more water next time. Jesus. Okay. Okay. Looks like ooh. Big Jaguars win this game. Joe Burrow got hurt. Big story of this game. But despite Jake Browning throwing 3 interceptions, the Jaguars still lose the game. Joe Burrow played pretty solid before he got hurt. Jake Browning, not a bad game besides those 3 interceptions. So, Chase Brown, still nothing. Not great. Jamar Chase went off, 165 touchdown. D Higgins had another touchdown, and Tinsley got a touchdown too. Jake Browning actually had a rushing touchdown. I believe that was the one that won them the game. Defensively, he looked pretty solid. Did actually pick off Trevor Lawrence twice, one by Hill and one by Battle. Oh, hold on. We gotta look at the freaking kicking. Perfect. By McPherson. Cam Little. Perfect. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Trevor Lawrence. I I'm a bit concerned. He did throw 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. I'm concerned he has a bit of a pick problem. But he almost had 300 yards, so it kind of makes up for it a little bit. But Travis Etienne, not as good as last game, but still pretty solid game. Pretty good. I want to call him PJ Washington. He's Parker Washington at 5 for 76. Diami Brown, is that it? Diami Brown had a touchdown. Parker Washington 76. I think I said that. Chutin had a touchdown, and Travis Etienne had a receiving touchdown too. So that helps him a little bit fantasy. And then Murray, Lloyd, and Wingard had the interceptions. Sacked by Aludicon. Different Aludicon. I don't know how to pronounce their names, but I'm trying my best. Armstead actually looked like a pretty solid game. Got a tackle for a loss and a sack. Not too many tackles. Okay, and yeah, I don't have too much to say beyond the fact that I hate the Jaguars for losing this game. I put my points on them, and they failed me. Okay. And then this game. I thought this was a blowout, but apparently, according to my friends that actually paid more attention to this game, it was not a blowout. This was actually a pretty close game. If you look at the scoreboard, it looks like the Titans actually held the lead going in the halftime. It looks like they kind of fell apart in the second half. Stopped scoring points. Rams defense probably stepped up, and Titans offense kind of fell apart, or both, or one or the other. I don't really know too much. Matt Stafford, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Kyron Williams, not great on the ground today. Puka Nacua did have a 45-yard jet sweep, I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. Blake Corum actually had another rushing touchdown. And Kyron Williams, Devontae Adams, 106, 1 touchdown. And Allen had a touchdown. I'm not going to say just Allen. Davis Allen. I didn't, actually. Man, okay. Cameron Kitchens, I actually like this. I think he actually looks like a pretty solid performance. I remember hearing his name quite a bit. I think it's actually a pretty solid defensive guy. I actually kind of like him. Curl had a sack. Young had 2 sacks. It looks like they brought down Cam Ward a total of 5 times. Didn't pick him off at all, though. And it looks like perfect on kicking, except a missed extra point. And kicking for the Titans. Perfect. 4-4 and 1 of 1. Cam Ward looks like he had a solid game. I think most of that came from the first half, or more specifically the second quarter, where they got most of their points. Tony Pollard actually fought pretty well. I think he had a pretty decent game. Evan Ridley, 57 yards, not too great for fantasy, but not horrible. Better than last week. And Amon Meyer had a touchdown. Chris Okonkwo, I like that name. 35 yards, 4 receptions. And then the defense played pretty well in the first half, but not so much in the second half. But it looks like they got a pick out of Stafford. Took away possession, Barton did, and sacked him only once, which is not good. Looks like it was like Amani Hooker, 8 tackles and a sack and a tackle for a loss. Not bad. And then we come to Pittsburgh versus Seattle. And after this game, I am going to go for a score update real quick. Just to talk about, keep up to date with the game. It's currently 12 Eastern time. 12 Eastern time. Wow, that's late. And I don't think the game's still in halftime. Let's go over this game real quick. Sam Darnold almost got 300 yards. Seahawks come away with this win. Ooh, looks like fourth quarter, I feel like I found the quarter that the Steelers lost the game in. I actually scored the amount of points that the Steelers had in the fourth quarter alone. Sam Darnold, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not the best game in the world, but I'm not too worried about it. I do like Sam Darnold. It's not the greatest game in the world, but I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, Kenneth Walker, actually pretty good game on the ground. Got a touchdown. Zach Charbonnet could not move the ball at all. Jackson Smith-Jigba, yet again, proving why I should keep him in my fantasy lineup every week. And Horton had the touchdown. Barner had the touchdown. Jigba still hasn't had a touchdown, but with that many yards, still gets pretty solid points. Offensively is pretty solid. Stopped Aaron Rodgers, picked him off twice, sacked him 3 times. Picked him twice, sacked him thrice. That was better. Myers missed a field goal, but he made 4 extra points. And he made another one. Chris Boswell, perfect, as always. You guys are relying on him. I don't think he's missed many field goals. He probably has in some point in his career, but he's pretty solid usually. Aaron Rodgers, not a great game. 1833, 203, touchdown, and 2 picks. Ooh. Mason Rudolph came in the game. That was probably near the end, I'm guessing. Actually, I know it is. He came in like the last drive. And then made 2 passes, and I was like, oh, hey, look, the game's over. Wow. Yep. And Jalen Warren, not great on the ground, but good receiving game. 4 for 86. And DK Metcalf had the lone touchdown for the Steelers. And Seattle's defense, they did pick off Donald twice. Jalen Ramsey and Nick Herbig. And they sacked him twice, but I don't know how much else they did. Or it looks like they stopped them for the most part, like the first 3 quarters. They only held them to 14 points, but last quarter they did not. Also, quick score update. The Chargers are winning 20-6. It looks like the Chargers got a field goal off their first drive. The Raiders currently have the ball on the Las Vegas 43. It is a 3rd and 1. Once I finish these, I'll go ahead and do a play-by-play. I won't have the score or anything, but I will have a play-by-play on here. Or I might actually I'll probably just put this in the corner. I'll probably I gotta refresh it. It still says it's live. I had the screen open in a little while. Looks like we have these 5 games left and go through Tampa. And we'll get to that. Let's try and get through these. Buffalo, this isn't too significant. Buffalo beats them. Josh Allen didn't actually do too great against that. I'm not too worried about it. Mr. Trubisky came in, threw a nice solid pass pretty early on. I think Josh Allen is fine. He usually doesn't play well. James Cook, though, absolutely cooked. And he got 2 touchdowns. Elijah Moore actually got a rushing touchdown. The rest of the points came off of the leg of Matt Prater. Receiving wise, nothing too significant, really. Defensive wise, pretty good. 4 sacks. Didn't pick him off at all, but pretty solid nonetheless. Jets. Fields actually got hurt, I believe, pretty early in the game, and when he was playing 3 for 11, not great. Fred Taylor came in and didn't play too much better. Did have a touchdown. Justin Fields was doing a little bit on the ground. Breece Hall completely stopped. Rod Taylor, not really enough to talk about. And Jeremy Ruckert was the one guy that got a touchdown. Defense for the Jets wasn't too solid considering they limited Josh Allen a bit. They did not limit James Cook, though. Fields looks like he also fumbled the ball once and lost it. Well, he fumbled it twice and lost it once. And then perfect on field goals. Oh, yeah. Matt Prater was also perfect on field goals. Moving on to this. Oh, no. This game. It was so good. This is my game of the week. I don't care what happens in this Chargers game. unless the Raiders like do something. I guess Raiders could make it better, but this is my game of the week. Like the game starts out pretty brutal. Like a fumble, I believe that is, yeah, the Bryce Young got sacked and then he threw a pick. It was pretty brutal. Cardinals up 10. Panthers just get a field goal. Punt. Cardinals get a field goal. Panthers 3 and out. Cardinals score a touchdown. It's 20-3 at half. Cardinals start off the third with a touchdown. But then the Panthers get a pretty solid drive, kill out the entire third quarter, was kind of questionable. But then Kyler Murray gets picked off by, let's mention him, because why not? D. Wonnum. And then the Panthers actually respond by scoring a touchdown, but they don't get the 2 point. They don't, which you'll see why later on is pretty brutal. And then the defense, perfect, played it perfectly. Timeout, I was a little worried because they got 7 yards, 2nd and 3. They had full confidence in that defense, and that defense stopped them. -3 yards, incomplete. Forces a punt, 45 seconds left to go. I do not like how long they took to drive, but Bryce Young making a crucial throw, 4th and 16, Tremaine, 26 yards. And then obviously we get to Ted McMillan, 20 yards on the 11. And then Renfro, push out of bounds, Arizona 1, past the 2-minute warning. So at this point, obviously, you gotta go for the onside kick, and they get it. They get the onside kick. And this is if they actually had those previous 2-point conversion, it would be they would have 2 more points, which would make this a 3-point game, and they'd only need a field goal after getting this. But instead, they need a touchdown. And so it's incomplete. But then they get a penalty, giving them 5 yards. That's incomplete. But then, it's over. Bryce Young sacked. Fumble, recovered by Arizona. Game over. But Arizona had defensive holding, accepted, no play. And Chuba rushes up the middle 3 yards. At this point, there's a 1:33, and I believe the Carolina Panthers still have a timeout left. Because they saved one, as they got a 3 and out. And Bryce Young flashed up the middle for no yards. No, 11 yards. 11 yards. That's inaccurate. But Carolina offensive holding 10 yards sets them back to 2nd and 17. Incomplete, but roughing the passer. So 15 yards up. Move it up. 1st and 10. Arizona 33. But intentional grounding. They have to take the timeout to avoid the runoff. And this is where it goes wrong. 2nd and 20. Pass incomplete. 3rd and 20, pass incomplete, but there's penalty, 15 yards at 3rd and 15 because they get a free play. There's defensive offsides. And then incomplete. And then sacked in the game. Kyler Murray kneels. This was brutal. This was truly a brutal game, but I'm not going to go read over the stats because I gave you that in-depth recap. And for this game, Broncos. I'm not going to go over the stats because I don't feel like it. I'm going to try and fit a different thing for this. For Denver, pretty solid until that last quarter. Or until, it really looks like they kind of just snuck up on them. And that interception and that doink really hurt. And then that penalty, the leverage penalty, it is a rule and it's technically a foul, but there's a lot of calls in this game that were kind of I don't care for them, especially But Chiefs loss. This game was ugly. There's a lot of tush pushes, a lot of boring. But if you thought that was ugly, I'm not even gonna bother talking about this. This was the most mind-boggling, boring. Just Tony Romo, field goal, defensive, field goal. One touchdown by the Falcons in the last quarter. Seven total field goals and a touchdown in the fourth quarter. It was the definition of boring. I stopped watching that game at the end. I did not care about it. Then obviously we have this game, Tampa versus the Texans. In a second, I'll actually start watching the game after I do a fantasy update. Yeah. Tampa, Baker Mayfield. All you really need to know is it was actually looking pretty close. Houston, Tampa kind of almost gave the win away because block punt didn't move anywhere, field goal, and then it was like, oh, and they got stopped. And then there's a really long return by what's his name? Noel. He had a really good return. Yeah, punt return, 53-yard punt return. And he actually set up the run game was actually pretty bad up to that point. That Nick Chubb got a 25-yard touchdown, put him up 19 to did they go for 2? I believe they went for 2. Yeah, they went for 2. Yeah, that didn't. It was they're trying to make it a 7-point game, but obviously it's a touchdown, and that was the most depressing end of game ever. He just runs it out and in the game. Anyway, before we get on to the thing, we'll go over fantasy. I'm going to do a very simplified thing. I'll just tell you my starters and my total points. I was playing Jalen Hurts, Von Chan, CeeDee Lamb, Drake London, Evan Ingram, Terry McLaurin, Lions defense, and Jason Sanders. This team sound familiar? Yep, it hasn't changed. And they totaled a point total of 88.84. And I had Dak Prescott, Chuba Hubbard, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jacoby Myers, Juwan Johnson, Bijan Robinson, Packers defense, and Matt Prater. I actually got rid of Cam Little because I had a stinking suspicion the Bills would get a lot of field goal points. I don't know why, but I went for it, and I got like 4 extra points. Cam Little only had 10, so it helped me a little bit. And Packers defense, Steelers defense had not been looking good. They did actually get 10 points against the Seahawks, but Packers actually gave me 4 more points, so 8 total extra points. And why I didn't start Brock Bowers is I was just worried that he wouldn't have the production or he wouldn't be playing. So I was just like, I'll just take Juwan Johnson. He should be solid. He actually got 15.9 points. It's not technically over, but as long as Jacoby Myers doesn't fumble 5 million times, I'll win. And yeah, Jacoby Myers, Juwan Johnson, Bijan Robinson. No, I already listed. I had a total of 131.34, and obviously Jacoby Myers is still playing. I win either way though. And then for Alex, he played Peyton this week, which Peyton has Jaden Daniels, who did get hurt. I forgot to mention that Jaden Daniels get hurt. It's week to week. Doubtful for next week though. Jahmyr Gibbs, T. Higgins, Mika Ibuka, Dalton Kincaid, Ted McMillan, Seahawks defense, and Tyler Loop. Alex had Joe Burrow, who got hurt also. Kyron Williams, Justin Jefferson, Keenan Allen, Sam Laporta, A.J. Brown, Rams defense, and Chris Boswell. Peyton with a total of 123.3, and Alex with a brutal 81.84. He obviously does have Keenan Allen, who is still playing, but barring an absolute miracle, and I mean miracle, he will not win that game. I will actually start And I will make an apology video to Alex if he manages to win that game. And then obviously next we have Aaron. Yeah, AB Alex, not other Alex, who was playing other Alex. Aaron had Lamar Jackson, Barkley, Brian Thomas Jr., Marvin Harrison, Hunter Henry, Tony Pollard, Broncos defense, which got 0 points, laid a goose egg, and Jake Bates. And he had Trevor Lawrence, Derrick Henry, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, David Njoku, DJ Moore, Cardinals defense, and Brandon Aubrey with 23 points. Jamar Chase with 36.5. And obviously, other Alex won 136.54 to 77.4. And then, yeah, I believe, yeah, that's all the games. I'll actually go ahead. Right. I have to change to this. Wait, does this actually? Okay, it is recording it. Thank God. I was scared that it was not recording the entire time. Okay, I can keep this up. I'll actually bring up the game in a second. Looks like they are currently at the Chargers 19. Let me pull up the game on my phone so I can watch it and play-by-play it. Let's go ahead and play-by-play for the rest of this game. Oh, yeah, it's a 4th and 12. I think it's going to be hey, guys, I think they're going to hit a field goal. Oh, and it looks like they already did. Yeah, it's a little behind. Yeah. Daniel Carlson's 37 field goal. Their field goal is good. We're just on commercial break right now. Okay. Yep. Me sad. Okay. I'm just testing to see if it works. Yeah, it does look like I have that on the screen. It's good enough. It's not perfect. It is on commercial break right now. Okay. I'm just waiting. We can actually just look around at the stats for this game for right now. Looks like Justin Herbert's having a hell of a game so far. 2 of 6 for 2 touchdowns. I know I've been seeing a lot of Geno Smith has not been playing great this game. Looks like it was good of me to not start Brock Bowers. Not doing great so far, but it could change. We are still in the 4th quarter, and they are going to need a miracle. 11 points, so there's still 11 minutes. The fact that that drive took 11 minutes, though, is very concerning, guys. You really, really need a drive not to take 11 minutes. Like, that's, if you want, Raiders want to win, you might want to go a little faster, just a little bit faster. A little bit faster. Let's check on the kicker, shall we? 3 of 3 for the Raiders. Oh, yeah, obviously. And perfect by both kickers. Currently, they're just talking about a happy birthday to Pete Carroll, oldest head coach in NFL history. He turned 74 today. Oh, yeah, I'd drink this. It's just a plain white cup. Looks like, kickoff. Actually, have the kickoff right now. And they're just about to set it down for the Raiders to kick off. We see Pete Carroll. He's talking. All right. Play clock's counting down. And kickoff. Daniel Carlson, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Looks like he's just going to take a knee in the end zone. Oh, and he kind of just tosses it. Raiders player runs in front of it. That's not going to be a penalty or flag or anything. He's just running back. Yeah. They're just showing the stadium. And we're back to commercial break. Great. I'm glad I waited for commercial break for a touchback. It's a little ridiculous. But yeah. TV timeout. That's what it says. And it's unknown if this is like an injury or something. Oh, let me I can't like listen. I can't obviously play the audio. Yeah, they're just on commercial break right now. I just like, oh, you should watch next week when we have this two teams playing against each other. Thursday, it's prime. Yeah, Dolphins and Bills. I probably won't stream that. The only reason I'm doing this is because why not? It's also the fourth quarter, so it's 11:15 in the quarter. Really don't like how. Oh, uh-oh. Why is it not working? Oh, all right, Justin Herbert. Hold on. All right, Justin Herbert. With the run back behind him, he's gonna sit there for a minute. Takes a snap. Steps back in the pocket. Steps up and passes it. Checks it down to his running back. Gets about 9 yards. Almost a first down. Not quite though. This is gonna be 9.5, something like that. Yep. Simple check down. Get some 9 yards. Looks like, yes, that's a 22. Najee Harris. Actually, kind of gets a little help from number 73. I think they're just going to try and run this clock out. They have a 2-score lead, 11 points. Oh, Najee Harris almost gets tackled back behind the line, but makes it across the first down marker. Yeah. Chargers offense is looking pretty good. Not looking so great for the Raiders so far, but they are definitely just trying to run through this clock as quickly as possible. They're not worried about time. Oh, he actually only gained 1 yard on the play, so just barely getting the first down. And Herbert will take the snap from his own 30. And he hands it. No, he fakes it. Play action. Back to Najee Harris. And he jukes a man. And he makes a man miss. And he's tackled finally at the 41. Man. Yeah. They're just, checking down. There's wide open space. Justin Herbert going to take another snap. And he's going to quick pass, incomplete. Just a little inaccurate there, kind of get it out there a little too quick. And there's a flag. A little later, a flag. Let's see. After the play, a stop, though, so let's see. Oh, they just did that to take the flag right off the field. Jeez. Yeah. They had 7 defensive line, 7 linemen on one of the. So, yeah. On Najee's big 11-yard gain on the play action. All right. Justin Herbert, after the incompletion, takes the snap from his own 41, then shotgun. Will hold for a second. And he's changing the play, it looks like. Doesn't like it. Takes a snap, though. And he quickly passes it down to 15. And he almost gets around a man. And he tries to jump, but he doesn't quite get it. Gets about 8. And it will be 3rd and short. It's not looking so great for the Raiders right now. I think this might be wraps. If they can get this first down, oh, it's 3rd. They're calling it 3rd and 1. They really got to get a stop here. There's only 8.5 minutes left. Especially since the last drive took 11 minutes. They really need a quick pass. Oh, Justin Herbert sits in the pocket for a long, has all day, nearly throws an interception, number 57. Jermaine Pratt drops it. The Raiders really needed that interception. Jermaine Pratt nearly picked Herbert off, and that would have gone deep. But that does force a punt. Nope, they're actually going to go for it. Justin Herbert in shotgun, going to go for it on 4th and 1. And they drop the ball, and he is going down far below the line. Raiders actually get a stop. They're actually going to have the ball at the Chargers 46-7, something like that. Yeah. He actually looks like they wanted to do a jet sweep, but he kind of drops the ball, and so he has to try and pick it back up. But then at that point, it's just too late. Can't do that kind of thing. And going to commercial break. Shocker. So it looks like they'll get the ball back anyway. I will need 2 scores to make a comeback for this, no matter how they do this. They really do need to get a touchdown. Because if they don't get a touchdown here, they'll need 8 points just to tie the game. And I don't think they want to leave it up to it's not exactly the best idea to leave it up to getting the 2-point conversion and the 8 points. Now, if you get the 8 points first, obviously, the plan for the Raiders is obviously try and get the touchdown. If you could only get the points, I wouldn't go for it if it's 4th and long. But if you have to take the field goal, you have to take the field goal. And you don't want to drain too much clock. You want to get through this drive quick. Because I believe I can see if they still have Las Vegas has used a timeout, which is, might have been a mistake. I don't know why they used it. I haven't really been here for this entire game pretty much. But it looks like they have their other two. Yeah, they have their other two timeouts. So you still do have two timeouts remaining in this game. They really got to get points here. Whether it's 3 or 8 would really be preferable, because then you can at least threaten to tie the game with a field goal. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was just a bad play design there. And that play broke down. But let's say Geno Smith from the Chargers, 48 it looks like. He will send a man in motion. Brock Bowers, it looks like. And Geno Smith takes a snap, passes to Brock Bowers, and he'll get to, about the 36-ish? No, 38. Yeah. It'll be about a 2nd and 2. At 35. 35. My bad. You're at the 43. It's my first time. Geno Smith looks like he is in a shotgun formation. Calls a man to his left. Looks like it is Tristan Tucker. And he takes a snap, steps back to pass, and he looks, and he launches downfield. Oh, and nearly caught by number 16, Jacoby Myers, but just a little over. I mean a lot over him. But man, Tristan Tucker was a little open there, but yeah. It's 3rd and 2. Jacoby Meyer or Geno Smith on the Chargers 35. Really needs something going here. Steps out the pass, gets the first down. Jacoby Myers down the field, down to about the Chargers 14, maybe 13. Jacoby Myers has been a pretty good player. He's been going quick up. Pretty good play there. Gain of about 20. Get the quick pass, goes around, gets a turnaround, makes a man miss, and gets tackled. All right. Geno Smith quickly back to the line. He's going to take the snap through receivers to his left, I believe. And he takes a snap, launches it down, incomplete. Looks like it was batted down up the line by Jones, number 96. Yep. Oh, could have been a touchdown. Also looks like it could have been pretty close to a pick if it wasn't accurate enough. So they have Jacoby Myers lined up to the left in shotgun once again. Brock Bowers on the right. Oh, and he's going to take a check down to Genty, and he goes backwards. That was nowhere. Number 29 still just gets him immediately. It's going to make it a 3rd and 15. Oh, looks like 87 just misses, does not keep the block long enough. Well, it looks like they try and go no huddle to get the line as soon as they can. There's only just above 6 minutes left. 6:09, 6:08, 7, 6. Geno Smith takes a snap, and he's going to launch downfield. End zone. Oh, and he's intercepted. Go off of Jacoby Myers' hands. He drops the ball, and number 3 gets the interception, and that will probably end the game. Derwin James there with the interception. Jacoby Myers just Jacoby Myers did not have a chance, but then Derwin James 3 deflects the ball out of Jacoby Myers' hands. And then it's a pretty good pass, but it's 2 covered, flex out of his hands. Another defender's right there to intercept it, and that'll kill your momentum. So the Raiders remain down 11 points with just under 6 minutes left to go. And now it starts to get really desperate. Still need 2 scores left. There's less than 6 minutes left. It looks like this one's going to go to the Chargers, but it's not over yet. We're currently on commercial break. All right, still got predictions after this. I'll finish up this game. Looks like it's not going to go my way. I tried to pick the Raiders here, but it's not looking so great for Geno Smith. That was not his fault for that interception, though. That was a really unlucky play, just a really good defensive play by Derwin James to get in front of Jacoby Myers, knock that ball in the air, and it just happened to be another defender in the area to intercept that. Yeah, it looks like Jackson actually gets the interception. All right, looks like we're going back to the game. Yeah. That is a very brutal interception, and that will kill any momentum that the Raiders had there. It was looking like they could have the win there, and that's just a brutal stare. The Chargers get all momentum back, and there is hard to see what that is. Gets about 7. It is Najee Harris again. It will be another 2nd and 3. It'll be a 2nd and 3 from, I believe, the Chargers 27. Yep. And they'll take the snap, and Najee Harris is blown up in the backfield. Does manage to get a little bit closer back to the line. Only loses about a yard. Could have been about a 3-yard loss, but it will be a 1-yard loss. Max Crosby with the hit there. He just absolutely breaks through that line in 57 with the support and 52 coming in, and just they all come in on him. There's not a whole lot he can do after that. It is 3rd and 4. They have got to get the ball back. McConkey, let's see whether they will go for a pass. Yes, Justin Herbert will step back to pass, and he'll get the pass, but it's dropped. He force another 3 and out, and they will not be going for it this time. They will give the Raiders a chance. Well, it looks like they might try and get some yards on the kick return, or even a block punt would be. Nearly gets a block punt, but he will get Trey Tucker, and he won't get. He'll get around, and he'll have a chance. And he goes around a man, but he does get tripped up, runs over. It was almost free, but he gets tripped up by a guy on the ground. Doesn't have too much speed to stop and go around him. I wouldn't say he was tackled, more like ran over the dude. We are back on commercial break. Geno Smith will have another chance from his own 33. 4:36 left to go. That was nearly a blocked punt. There's a guy that dived right in front of him. We got 4:36 left to go in this game. Again, the Raiders need a miracle to come back from this one, but it's not over. All right. More ads. All right. Yep, they're showing some highlights now. Assuming we'll be back in the game soon. Oh, looks like that Chinty ran into his own man. Looks like Geno Smith has been on the ground a lot. Derwin James has been a major home wrecker for this Raiders team. They will get another chance to prove themselves. If they can drive down the field quickly, they might have a chance. They need to score quick. If otherwise, it's going to come down to an onside kick. Oh, another first down incompletion, just too fast. Almost. A deflection almost leads to another pick. Pretty good election. It'll be 2nd and 10 from Geno's own 33. Take another snap, and he'll look down the middle. Looks like he got Brock Bowers down for about a gain of 6, 7, down to the 40. It looks like they're trying to go up to the line very quickly, no huddle. And he takes a snap, 3rd and 3, and he launches it down, incomplete. Number 26 knocks it out of the way. It will be 4th and 3. The game will come down to this. If they cannot get this game will be over, more than likely. This is going to already require a miracle, but you know, last chance for them, really. Geno Smith in shotgun. Harbaugh's going to take his 2nd timeout. Just, yep. If the Chargers stop him here, it's pretty much over. All right. It comes down to this play. Alvarez taking a timeout to think about it with his defense, and this will give Smith and the Raiders offense also some time to huddle up and maybe think about some possible next plays if this goes right, because if it's not out of bounds, they're going to need to head up to the line quick because they need to save those 2 timeouts if they don't want to have to do this onside kick fashion. All right. We are in a half ad break as the two teams huddle together. One of the biggest plays of the game. Besides, that other one where they had a chance to get a touchdown. But yeah. Jacoby Myers and Tristan Tucker are number 10. And they move number 10 over Jacoby Myers to the other side, bunch formation. And Geno Smith steps back and has time, he gets sacked, and that will be game. Chargers will come away with a win. Dan Henley rushes and just dominates the line, and Geno Smith goes down. Does not have time to throw the ball. Oh, yeah, Don Henley just waits for the offensive line to stop looking at him and just runs straight through a hole. And doesn't look like there's much more hope for this Raiders team, barring a miracle. They'll be on the Raiders 29. Herbert, probably just going to hand this ball off, I'd assume. And he fumbles the ball, and the Raiders get it back. The rookie fumbles the ball. The Raiders have a chance. The Raiders, Butler gives them a chance, a fighting life. Hmm. Looks like there's a fumble recovered by. That will be a fumble. Incomplete. Nearly intercepted. Here comes the Raiders. Lucky chance for this lucky last drive. This ball batted high in the air. Oh no. That was much chance to intercept that, but this blitz is brutal. Geno Smith is not getting a lot of time. They are sending the pressure. They're not giving Geno a lot of time to throw the ball. And Jacoby Myers does catch the ball, but not very long. It looks like they're going to try and go to no huddle. It's third down and about 6. He's going to need maybe about a little spot around the 35, be a 3rd and 5. And then he launches it down. Oh, Brock Bowers tries to one-handed, but he will be incomplete, leading to another Raiders 4th and 4. Oh, yeah. It looks like he got away. Yeah, he already got his arm. A little bit of a pass interference, but they get away with that one. Grabs his left arm, but it will be a 4th and 5 instead. Chargers, yet again, if they get this, they will probably win the game. Smith, under pressure, spins around, almost gets sacked, makes a man miss, runs around like a sociopath, tries to toss the ball, and it's incomplete. And 4 and out. Did nothing yet again. Just endless pressure, no hope. Geno Smith is running around like an absolute sociopath here. Jesus. Well, with that ends the Lucky Raiders' second shot, and that should end the game, barring any silly nonsense. Yep. Najee Harris brings it to the 30. Get to the 30. And Raiders will take a timeout as this game comes to a close, more than likely. They will need an onside kick to get the win if they do want to try and attempt something like that. But if the Chargers get a first down, it will be over. Man, Derwin James has been dominating Raiders today. The pressure has just been unreal on Geno Smith. There's no way he can do anything with the amount of pressure this Chargers pass rush has been doing to him. So they're trying to. They pass the ball, and it's a first down. And, yep. No, yeah, first down, but it won't quite end the game since it just went straight to a first down. But it will bring the clock down 24, 23, and 34 to 34. 30, 29, 28, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 10 seconds left on the play clock. It won't quite hit the 2-minute warning. Raiders still have a timeout. I hand it off. Harris gets the ball. About 4, 5. And that will. Oh, the Raiders will take a second timeout. They will need a miracle, but they're going to give it a shot. We'll see if they even get the chance to get the ball back. If the Chargers get another first down, it's a game. Oh, it was Omarion Hampton that fumbled the ball earlier. Looks like Najee has been the lead back for today. It looks like this will be the end of the game. They will get another shot out the ball, assuming if they don't get another first down, but they're going to try their best. We'll see. Looks like Najee will get the run again, and he is down for a first down, and that, ladies and gentlemen, will end the game. Oh, there's a flag. There will be a flag. We'll see if it's on. If it's not on the Chargers, that will be the game. That is on the offense. Legal formation. It'll be a legal formation on number 76. So it will be going back. And the Raiders will have another chance. To 11. Second and 11. They will get another chance to get the stop. They still have the 2-minute warning. No timeouts left. So there'll be left in a minute 20. Justin Herbert will actually try and do it on his legs. Oh, and that's going to be he slid down. And with how protected they are with quarterbacks, I'm almost surprised they did not throw the penalty flag. Now, I don't believe it's fair, but nope. It will be third and about 4 after Herbert slides down. Trying to repeat what he did against the Chiefs. after the 2-minute warning. There will likely not be much of a chance, but it won't be over. They're just on ads right now. I'm curious. Okay. Alrighty. Looks like this will be, well, barring an absolute miracle, and I mean miracle, this game will be over. If I had something else to do, I probably wouldn't be sticking around for this. Well, is Tom Grassi even sticking around? I'm gonna say hi to Tom Grassi. Tom Grassi, he's probably still alive. He usually stays alive. Yeah, he's still alive for it. Alright. Yep, it looks like we're going back to the game. Raiders will have one final shot to get the stop. I really need the Raiders to win here. As for my predictions, I'm going to be going down, barring a miracle. Oh, and it is a first down. That will be game. Yep, that's going to be the entire game. I go down. Yeah. The rest of the game will probably just be kneel. Yep, Justin Herbert is in kneel position. And they will just kneel the ball down, and that will be game. All right, I'm not gonna bother watching the rest of that. It's just gonna be a bunch of kneels, and well, I've already been here for 2.5 hours. Not really much else to talk about.
Yeah, on the handoff. All right.
Oh, Tom Grassi might be a little behind there, Mister.
It did.
Oh no, he's not. All right. Well, with that, I'm just gonna call the stream there. I don't have much else to say or anything at all. And so I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.